Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon, and we're going to talk about comic books, specifically digital comics, specifically ComiXology. What the hell is up with ComiXology? What are they doing over there? Amazon announced just, a month or two ago that they were going to shut down the ComiXology site. They were going to shut down the ComiXology site and merge it with Amazon. Merge the accounts with Amazon, which to me feels like the first step in just turning ComiXology into Kindle with more pictures. You know, I don't know, but now they're dropping pre-order digital comics from the website, according to Bleeding Cool. Scott Snyder has his own line coming to ComiXology. This feels like it could be a reaction to Substack, because more and more creators are getting Substack deals, supposedly. And there's an increased focus on Webtoon and Tapas, formerly Tapastic. People are pushing more into digital comics now, I think because of Substack and the success of Webtoon. It feels like ComiXology is kind of gearing up for something. I don't know. We're going to talk about it. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, over 236,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. We do talk about comic books, making comics ourselves, like Shadowbinders. That was our digital comic turned print, and there is more Shadowbinders on the way. Brand new content designed for print, and some other comic book projects that we're working on right now that we'll share with you at a later date. If you go out to shopclownfish.com. But yeah, Shadowbinders started as a digital comic, and we were fortunate enough to be able to make pretty okay money by comic book standards doing Shadowbinders as a digital comic back in the day, as a web comic, ad revenue and Patreon and book sales and that sort of thing. So, I mean, I know there actually is some money in digital comics, but it's really interesting. Amazon shutting down the ComiXology website, merging it with the Amazon site. Scott Snyder launching his own creator-owned publishing imprint on ComiXology, and they're going to print through Dark Horse. So this seems to be the way that they're doing things now. In fact, I had a friend of mine send me a link earlier that Tapas is actually taking some of their comics and getting them published through Yen Press now, and we're seeing more and more of this. Webtoon, I know there are a couple deals in the works right now for Webtoon comics to be published as well. And that is, borrowed from the webcomic playbook. This is something that people who did webcomics professionally back in the day, something we did often. We would serialize the material online. We'd get paid that way. And then we would bundle it up as a book and we'd get paid that way. So it's not a bad business model as long as you can, bring the eyeballs. But this is interesting that ComiXology now is dropping pre-ordered digital comics from its website. Gotta give a hat tip to CCG, I think, who sent this over yesterday. Coming from Bleeding Cool, every once in a while, they stick to sports and they get it very right, and they keep their personal hot takes out of it. Rich Johnson said, "It's been noted that ComiXology no longer seems to be listing comic books ahead of publication, something which used to be common practice and for some allowed them to work out what was being published, by whom and when with efficiency. But as of late, that facility seems to have disappeared altogether, leaving customers confused." Well, this is all part of the big change coming to the digital comics publisher, which will see the end of the web store in favor of an Amazon website instead. A ComiXology spokesman told Bleeding Cool that ComiXology is sunsetting its web store this fall in favor of a single digital comic store on Amazon. In preparation for this transition, ComiXology is phasing out pre-orders on the current site. Pre-ordering for this fall and later is available on Amazon, and digital comics purchased there are already readable on both Kindle and ComiXology. And it's been that way for a while. This is how David Steinberger, co-founder and CEO of ComiXology, described what's coming. He talked about what was coming, but was less obvious about what was being taken away and when. And we'll possibly get some more details at New York Comic Con, maybe. He said, this fall we're introducing an upgraded ComiXology app along with a new way to shop for digital comics and manga on Amazon.com. Here are some of the changes you can expect. An upgraded ComiXology app will feature flexible filtering and sorting and some fun book navigation features. A revamped digital comics shopping experience on Amazon, where you'll be able to browse, buy, and borrow books to read on either the ComiXology or Kindle app. You can visit the new shopping experience today as we continue to bring new features online. ComiXology.com will redirect to this new experience when we launch. Faster, more reliable downloads on Android and iOS, plus read while downloading is new for Android customers. Kindle Unlimited and Prime members will be able to borrow from a large library of graphic novels and manga and read on the ComiXology app. In select countries, ComiXology purchases will be readable on Kindle apps and devices. Soon you'll also be able to read purchases from ComiXology on the Kindle app. If you have questions, go to Twitter. And we'll talk about Scott-tober here too. Some of the comments. If you're a ComiXology Unlimited member, do not pre-order any comics on the Amazon site. You will be charged full price and will not get the unlimited discount. Actually, I like ComiXology Unlimited. The discount currently only applies to already released books. So wait until the release date to make the purchase until they can resolve the issue. Can't comics publishers unite to develop their own app outside of Amazon? Yeah, you would think. They tried it. There have been multiple digital comics apps, and none of them took off quite like ComiXology. Having Amazon as your sugar daddy probably helped. All I know is it better work. Your current app is the very picture of how not to do a thing. In all my years of reading comics, ComiXology has been the most enjoyable. You'll be sad to see it gone from my life. I actually like the Shonen Jump app quite a bit, personally. ComiXology Unlimited outside US, or do we just keep downloading from other sites? We're going to steal it. Yeah, so what is up? They're definitely changing things. And I do think that this is a reaction to Substack and other, it's almost like Scott Snyder didn't get a Substack deal, so he went to ComiXology instead. I don't know. This was a couple of days ago on CBR. Best Jacket Press. Scott Snyder brings We Have Demons and Clear to ComiXology. March, award-winning comic book creator Scott Snyder launched his creator-owned publishing imprint, Best Jacket Press. Snyder's new line kicked off with Noctera. That was that Kickstarter campaign being run by Camilla Zhang, who was let go from Kickstarter. And then I could be wrong, but I think she bailed before fulfillment. And then she's making this Zoop thing. So you see what's going on here. Like, everybody is scrambling to try to build their own little life raft, outside of the mainstream comic book industry. And I think a lot of it has to do with YouTubers. I think a lot of it has to do with Comicsgate, to be honest. I think they're looking at YouTubers and Comicsgate who have sold comics successfully outside the mainstream, made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And they're looking at that like, yeah, they're right. You know what? They're right, but we're not going to admit that they're right. Because we can't do that. We've spent the last 4 years demonizing these people. We can't admit that they might be right about some things, even if we don't agree with them politically. So we're all going to try to do it ourselves. We're going to try to build our own life rafts using this internet thing. So October sees Snyder's launch of We Have Demons, Clear, and Night of the Ghoul. These feel like Netflix pitches, kind of. Just personal opinion. I'm looking at these and I'm like, this reminds me of Mark Waid's Thrillbent, where they were clearly pitches for Hollywood, and his partner was actually a Hollywood producer, and it all felt like, yeah, these could be shows, and it didn't take off right away. Now, I don't know if this is going to take off. I have no idea. It just seems like we have a lot of Marvel and DC people trying to do the digital comic thing, trying to build the online platform very quickly, by the way. Did you see how quickly everybody started to try to, build their own life rafts after the shutdown, after Diamond, cut and run, and a lot of books were getting canceled, and everything seems up in the air. Like I said, I think they agree with YouTubers who have been critical of the comic book industry. They're not going to admit that they agree with them. They're just going to go try to do their own version of it. Various means, whether it's Substack or that Zoop thing or whatever. Just an opinion, but it does feel like a lot of mainstream creators are finally realizing that the mainstream bubble is going to burst, the basket is going to fall, the handle's going to break. Yeah, and what's up with ComiXology? I have no idea. I really don't. It just seems like, it's another step at it becoming an Amazon world. Amazon's where you're going to go for your digital comics, and they don't want to have a separate site. One-stop shopping. You can go read some comic books, and then you can go buy some dog food or, something. I don't know. I'm going to wrap this one up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.